this is Devlin, and welcome to another edition of my pirate radio show. And believe it or not, this is episode 50. They thought I was going to bow at 6, because that's the number they claim everybody gives up their podcasting, but look at me. And I'm going to be here for 100, 150. Okay, let's not push it. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to be in the triple digits. I want to be. If I hit 1,000, that might be crazy. But you know what? It's all going to my archive that when I start losing my mind, I can listen to this stuff and be reminded. It's my 50th episode. I didn't want to do it alone, so I have brought a really great friend here. I love to compliment him because he can't talk. I have a rule here. But you've heard him here before, and I'm glad we got him back again. He is talented, he's funny, he's smart, hot as hell. It's taking me everything. He's blushing, that makes me want him more. It takes all my being not to just jump his bones. And Mike's in the other room, that's just not appropriate. Anyhow, I'm not going to punish him anymore. Welcome, Mr. Gary Reid, back again.
Hi, how are you? Glad to be back.
Now, I have talked to Gary this time because Gary is very passionate when he talks. And I remember your first time here, you talked a lot and your stories were long, and I have no problem with that, but then I was getting to know you and suddenly it was like, yeah, we've run out of time, and I think we just made it to like university or something like that. Just after high school or something.
My brother found it interesting that I'd mentioned his circumcision.
Did you really?
I think we were talking about circumcision last time.
Was that what I coined? That I wanted to be the face of circumcision? Because I was...
No, you said you were against circumcision and we had a big long conversation.
Oh.
I don't want to get on a side topic, but...
Yeah, we're totally... What a way to start the 50th. We're talking about foreskin. That's
we're all
great.
Over the place before, so...
Yeah, Scott, I think, listens. I don't know if he still does. Does he still listen?
I think he does. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, right. Well, he'll listen to this one, so...
Well, I hope. Otherwise, he's dead to me.
Yeah, you think Scott would ever come on?
Probably.
Yeah. Scott is Gary's brother, for people who don't know. See, I always just assume people are in the loop, but that'd be cool. I don't know Scott that well. I just know bits and pieces, but I remember you saying he's a really funny guy. He's got his own quirkiness.
He's shy. He would have been great for improv if he wasn't so shy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Anyhow, Gary, we've got you back here. How's life treating you?
Goods and bads, ups and downs. Got a lot of stuff on the go lately.
I'd love to hear about it.
I've been writing songs for a very long time, and recorded some with my old drummer a long time ago, Rick Swayze, who did a lot of stuff in the studio with me, and then he kind of went off and couldn't commit to doing it on a regular basis, and I'm kind of a fountain of songs, so I can just keep pumping them out, whether they're good or not. That's here, other people decide. But so I hooked up with an old high school buddy and his wife, Jay Kane and Anne-Marie Kane, and they live in Guelph. And now that I have a working vehicle, I said, well, let's give this a try. And he said, you want to play bass in my band? I didn't know. He played guitar and sang. She played keyboards, banjo, all kinds of other stuff.
Nice. And
they had a drummer named Daryl, and I played bass. And I loved it because I love playing bass as well. It's easier than the guitar. And then they decided to, after a little while, bring in a bass player. And I said, okay, well, what's that mean for me? He goes, well, we'd like you to play guitar. Okay, so I started playing guitar, learned all the songs on the guitar, and then we played a few gigs. We did a Hard Rock in Toronto.
Oh, really?
Hard Rock Cafe, yeah, that was awesome.
Nice.
We also did a place called Duffy's in Toronto. I played bass in that gig because the bass player couldn't make it. That was good because I was going crazy in that gig. I actually got complimented by the sound man. He's like,
is it?
Ripping that bass, man. Good job. But, so since then, Chris Osborne is the bass player. He is fully in the band now and with us. And then we've added a new drummer, Jason Burkers, who's an amazing drummer, very talented guy. He's actually got guitar, vocals, and drums, and he writes his own songs. He's actually got a couple of songs on YouTube.
Excellent.
Kind of sounds like a little bit collective soulish.
Just before you continue, did you mention the name of the band yet?
They're called Makeshift.
Okay. You're like the worst promo guy ever.
Yeah.
You told us the whole history, and we didn't know the name of the group. Sorry.
I'm not a big build myself up kind of guy.
I'm just bugging you because I kept saying, "Am I going to play this back?" Because he mentioned it, but I'm saying I don't think that's the only thing you didn't mention. Okay,
yeah,
continue.
Makeshift. So we were working on all their songs, and after a while, we polished all the songs like as much as we could polish them. We know them off by heart, no problem. And then they said, "Was anybody got any ideas?" And we tried jamming a few ideas out, and I'm like, "Well, I've got this song that's kind of sort of written," and then they said, "Well, pull it out," and we did it, and we did a little bit of little tweaks to it, and now it's in our list. So
was that amazing hearing your song getting played
by a band finally?
Were you like really anxious when that would come up?
It's
we're gonna
exciting.
do it. Yeah.
Well, we're doing two of my songs, and
Nice.
actually now we're doing one of the drummer songs as well. So we literally have an entire band full of songwriters. Like everybody in the band can write songs.
Well, that's great because I remember. I think the last time you were here, you were kind of looking for something like this.
At least something.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's come for you finally.
Like, I don't want to be that guy who's got like 30 to 50 songs written and never so much as, see the light of day or anybody hears them. I used to go to jam nights and open mics and stuff, but I just find unaccompanied, it just doesn't feel what I'm trying to get out with it.
So you actually, when you write songs, you hear more in your head, like you get the idea of a fuller...
And it's weird. There's times where, like if I showed you my cell phone, I have about 25 different little video clips of like a little guitar lick or me humming something. And I've literally probably written 7 or 8 songs from just doing that. I actually spoke on the phone with a former musical buddy of mine who we used to be in bands, Adam, back in the day. We were in a band when we were in high school, Toxic Shock. Yeah. I played drums in that band. But anyway, Adam he has been living out in Whistler for a while, and he had told me about some stuff that had been going on with him and with some of his friends. And there was some heavy conversations going on about some loss and some addiction issues. Not him, but like people we knew. And so after I got off the phone with him, less than an hour later, I wrote a full song. And then less than 2 hours later, I had gone down to my drummers and recorded it because I could not. I actually put it on Facebook when I recorded it acoustically.
Is it still up there?
It'd probably be in my videos if you want my videos. I got my red Bazinga shirt on.
What's the name?
The song is called, that one's called Find a Way.
Find a Way. I think I heard that. I think I heard.
But that's not one of the songs we're doing with Makeshift. So I'm really, really just trying to not suppress I just want to get them out as productive as I can. And if this band Makeshift doesn't want to do all of them, then I got to do like another project as well. I have to because there's so many songs.
I love when you say you have to you have to do this because that shows you really desperate to get these out, and that's awesome. That shows your passion for it.
Well, I mean, when certain lines in certain songs, I've said certain lines in songs, and I'm like, these are lines in songs that I don't recognize from other, and they might exist. You don't. Like one of the lines in Find a Way is, it's too much an ordeal, you're asleep at the wheel of your existence. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And somebody, when I posted it, commented, like, that's a really cool line. And, like, there's one of the lines in the song my band Makeshift is doing now. The song's called Again, is the name of the song. But the line is, brass ring, you can't grab it, excuses are habits. You know what I mean? Like, there's just little things that I'm just like, like they come out like I'm writing furiously to keep up with this. It almost feels like I'm possessed. I'm not trying to sound dramatic.
No.
Literally, I'm sometimes I don't recognize.
Now you handwrite?
Usually, yeah. I'll scribble it down and then I'll transpose it onto a computer or something like that. But that's the original stuff. With Anne-Marie and Jay, I've actually done some acoustic stuff called Acousticated. They came up with the name. But it's a 3-piece, so it's hard to get gigs doing that, especially when you don't really have a following. But I have hooked up with a really good friend of mine, Anne-Marie Pavlov, who I knew in high school. Like, she dated my best friend when we were in high school. And we, went our separate ways over the years, and I reconnected with her a few years ago. And she is just amazing. Good guitar player, amazing harmonica player, great voice. Just a natural, fun, gregarious interesting, exciting woman. It's I compare her to kind of like Bette Midler,
Oh, very nice.
but not that big.
Yeah,
she's not. I mean, not a big size. I mean, just like big and like Bette Midler's comes into the room and the glass shatters.
Sorry, I'm giggling because I never even thought of size when you said that.
Yeah,
I know Bette Midler's got a big personality.
Because I went like this.
But guess
big,
what I'm
right?
thinking about now? Big. Yeah, okay.
But
yeah.
Anne-Marie is
Sweet.
Like we play really well together. We did a couple little pop-up gigs here and there. But I'm trying to get that ball rolling. The problem is I don't, like you said, you don't sell yourself very well. That's my weakest point. That's not me. She, on the other hand, is a really likable person and probably would be very successful getting us gigs. But I don't think that's her thing either.
Oh,
so right now we're just kind of floating in the water, hoping that we'll catch the wake and move on, right? And hit some.
You
gigs.
need a promotion, man.
Yeah, because I think her and I, once bars start hearing us, because we jam out, like she does some harmonic, we go all over the map musically. It's
so
fun.
have you found it? Like as I said the last time we talked, you didn't have it. Now it seems like you have.
Yeah.
And has it been therapeutic for you and stuff like that in a lot of ways?
It's always great. Like, even with my old drummer, Rick, we brought a bass player in the one time, and we played this one song that I hadn't played with a full band before. I played with my drummer, but no bass player. So when we did that song, I have a second part to that song that I have always said I won't record it in the studio. So if anybody ever comes and sees me live, and I'm doing that song, the other half of that song.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a reason for it, or you just
a couple
don't think
reasons.
it'll ever? You think it should be?
Oh, I think it's
live?
a great song. It's called "Memories of Summer" is the second half.
Yeah.
The song is "Road Less Traveled," which you've probably seen.
I've definitely heard that. One, yes.
And then the second half, it ends. "Road Less Traveled" ends, and the second half is that part, and then it continues on, and then it's an entire. It's a
nice.
different song, but it's all about memories of summer, without getting into too much details, like making love in a warm rainstorm when I was a teenager, in the middle of a field.
That's hot.
Yeah,
Sorry. Sorry, I may need to cool off after that.
Coming down with a girl I was dating, and we come around, we hear this music, and it turns out to be a band I know, and then one of the lines is, and then we heard the drummer, and so it's really cool. But the reason I don't want to record it is I want to reward people for coming to see me, and I want there to be a specialness to it. You know what I mean?
That's nice.
So
I don't think I've ever heard anybody ever say that before. That's actually cool.
It's
so it makes it intimate.
Well, that's kind of what I think.
Because you're only going to hear it when you're with Gary Reid live,
and you never know if it's going to sound exactly the same. It might be a little longer, a little more jammed out. Who knows, right?
That's cool.
I need a band on board for that. I haven't really approached Makeshift about it because it's almost kind of my thing, like my song. So I don't know if they'll want to kind of be my I don't want a backing band. You know what I mean? I do like a backing band, but I'd rather be the Richie Sambora to the Bon Jovi, you know what I mean? I can do the frontman thing, but
Are you going to be going to the studio anytime soon? Do you think there'll be a chance we'll ever...
The guys from Makeshift have been talking about it. We've done some laptop studio stuff, but I said it, as much as it's wonderful technology and all that, it sounds like it's recorded on a laptop. And you can have the best mics and this, that, and the other thing, but nothing replaces a really good stereo and a really good engineer and all that. As much as everybody thinks they're an engineer, like my old drummer makes wonderful, wonderful sounding music, but I kept trying to tell him we need to get a band together and then get a guy from the outside who, not necessarily Glenn John who ruins the Eagles almost, but you know what I mean? Somebody
who's not connected to the music and can listen to it with a different ear, right? And
go, I'd like to hear some harmonies there, maybe a little bit louder there, this, that, just small things that, and there's one producer who a lot of people are in high demand, but he charges something like $900 a song or something I can't afford that. Yeah. I was going to go to Grand Avenue Studios, and the first 5 minutes of the conversation with the guy who runs the place, he's like, well, what I do is, and I'm like, oh, okay, we got to stop you there. If I'm paying you money, you're going to do what I want you to do.
There you go.
And what he was selling me is he was going to take my songs and teach his studio band. So basically he was going to get a wrecking crew to record my album.
Oh, mini pops.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, well, then don't charge me for it. Yeah. Here's my songs, you record them, we'll give you credit. Anyway,
that's cool.
I always said, and someone said once that you should be careful with your originals because, people will steal them and this and everything. I'm like, as much as it would probably stick in my craw very much, I would much rather have one of my songs on the radio and be successful and played long after I'm dead than nothing ever come from anything I do. You know what I mean? I know somebody a few years back died tragically, and a lot of the music scene friends of his went out and did his music into a CD. And I've never to this day have heard the CD, but that to me is a wonderful tribute. And if that ever happened to me, I would, you have my blessing. By all means, tell everybody, record my songs.
That's
please.
Great. We have a couple more minutes. I just wanted to talk. You are the father of a son, Daxon.
Yep.
How are things going with Daxon? Is he getting a musical side going?
He likes to play drums. He's
cool.
been going to the Tuesdays and Thursdays after school music stuff.
Nice.
One of the music teachers lets them jam out, and he's trying saxophone and piano. And
so he's trying a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Everyone always thought I would be trying to force things on him, like sports and that. And no. He's got a passion for art that I had when I was a kid that was never really, what's the word? Enriched. Like I would stay up and draw Michael Jackson from the Thriller album cover.
Yeah.
Stay up all night drawing that and come into school and show everybody, and they'd be like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And I'd show my parents and they'd go, oh yeah. And that was it. Not like, oh, we should get you an art class, or, it was never, you should think about being an artist. It was none of that stuff, right? There was actually a woman when I lived in the apartment with my mom before my father moved back in. This lady, older woman, she was an art woman, like an artist.
Yeah.
And I used to go down there and hang out. And I remember drinking ginger ale, and I showed her these flip books I used to make, those.
Yeah, where the people would move, and
And, we would talk about art, and I guess my mom said something to the effect of, I don't want you hanging out down there anymore. And I'm like, why? No big deal. She goes, no, I prefer you not. So that lady, I told her I can't hang out anymore. She wrote a note to my mom saying, everything's fine, he's not bothering me, blah, blah, blah. But I think my mother was worried that there was like a Mrs. Robinson thing going on that she was trying to seduce, because I was like probably coming up in my teens, like, maybe 11 or 12. And,
So she didn't have her leg up? Would you like a ginger ale?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think that was the case, but, I think my mother's probably...
It's kind of hard to tell at 11, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, in retrospect, I'm thinking maybe she was trying to just be protective of me. I don't know. But
yeah.
I don't know.
That's an interesting story.
Back to Daxon. I got him a new bike. We used to do tandem bike adventures.
I remember seeing the pictures of you.
We only did a couple this year, like, that just passed, and I was very disappointed because we got a new bike. And we didn't do a lot of riding. I was excited because he wanted to ride so bad that we wore coats the one day because he wanted to ride his new bike. Yeah. Because his birthday's in April, right? So it's not always warm. And I said, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to ride our bikes all summer long. And then literally, I think we maybe did about 5-10 bike rides. And none of the really huge ones that we used to do.
So you're hoping to do more this year?
Yeah. Well, there's the Gage Park. It's got a dirt track there. Mm-hmm. And we do that. He loves that. But the problem is you go there and there's 600 kids jumping and doing BMX tricks, and that's fine, but, I don't know. It'd be nice to be able to just spend some time with my boy and not have to worry about getting run over by some kid with a mohawk.
Or him getting ideas like, hey, maybe we should do that next year or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's definitely not a daredevil. That's the one thing I'm kind of glad that he's a lot more cautious like his mother than me.
You were a daredevil.
I wanted to be a stuntman thanks to the Fall Guy when I was younger.
Really?
I was the unknown stuntman. I actually approached my high school gym teacher and mentioned it, and he said, oh, they have schools in Toronto. And the funny thing is, I just spent Super Bowl watching the Super Bowl with a couple of high school friends, and one of them actually did go to stunt school.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never met anybody who seriously wanted to be a stuntman.
I did. I didn't
Stop
think I had...
Gary. I already want you. Now that I know you wanted to be a stuntman, that's like, stop getting hotter.
Lee Majors was pretty cool back then.
Lee Majors was... I bought Mike some of the $6 Million Man because he watched Bionic Woman, but he didn't... Yeah, we didn't know he was gay, though. His parents didn't know. But he watched Bionic Woman, so I bought him some $6 Million Man, and watching it, I'm like, God, Lee Majors was a major stud.
Yeah, he was cool back then. Well,
Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett back then. There's the picture.
Probably he's pretty cool now, but... yeah, he was married to, like, the hottest...
Yeah.
Do you know how many guys were jerking off to that poster? This is the guy who got to sleep with her every
and she
night.
was Farrah Fawcett Majors. Like, he took on. Like,
yeah, you know what? I still call her Majors, even though she's passed now, but she'll always be Farrah Fawcett Majors to me, because I always like that extra name. Anyhow, what a weird thing to end it on here. We started with your brother's foreskin, and then moved on to Lee Majors. And Farrah Fawcett.
Somewhere between the truth.
That's one thing you gotta love about my show. You just never know where we're gonna wind up. But I do know where we're gonna wind up on the next segment. We're gonna talk about growing old graciously. Because we're getting there, and I don't know how this segment's gonna go on, but we're gonna have a lot of fun anyhow. I'm back with Gary right after this. I am back with my co-host, Gary Reid. And this is my 50th episode, and I thought it's kind of, in reality, I'm just a few years away from 50. I could have swore just a couple of years ago I was a few ways away from 40, so I'm not sure where all this time is going. And you're going to be right behind me, but you're a couple younger than me.
I'll be 46 this year.
And I'm just turned 48, so yeah, you're still there. So anyhow, but I wanted to just talk to you about, like, because I noticed little things in my life that are changing. You know, I always remember listening to stand-up comics who always said, oh, suddenly you're going to have weird hair coming out all places. And I'm like, trimming my ears all the time, my nose hairs. Like, what's that all about?
I don't remember having 8-foot-long nose hairs as a teenager. But it's like you wake up, you go to bed, you have no nose hair. And then you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, and you're like, there's a nose hair. Like, it could be like freaking... Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of ninjas lowered themselves down from my nose.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, I missed it. I'm looking, I go into the elevator. We have mirrors in the elevator, and I'll see, like, I literally have a long hair. Like, I gotta
stick it at the top of your ear.
I'm trying to yank it off because I'm looking like Yoda all of a sudden.
I yank my nose hair sometimes.
How did we get like this? We're still young guys, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, in the relative terms, like, young, like, there's people in their 80s and such. Well, how old's Stallone? And that guy looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, he still looks incredible.
You know, of course he has the money and time to do such a thing.
Well, I think old is going to look different nowadays. Like, we see little old ladies now and stuff, but
with tattoos and
but I think
hair.
And the generations coming up even behind us, I think young is going to look different. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people who are living there now and not thinking about their then. Like, everyone's like, oh, what about the tattoos? And then you see these Facebook memes of these old people with all these tattoos, and it's like, oh, they're still beautiful. Well, you either find tattoos beautiful or you don't.
Now, going off topic a bit, this is kind of personal. You're tattoo free, right?
None. Nada.
Wow. I don't know that many friends that are tattoo free.
I actually, years ago, considered tattooing Laura's and Daxon's name around my wedding band finger.
Okay.
And then I just, combination of pain. I mean, I could have endured the pain if it was going to be something we were both going to do. But I don't think, I think in the long term it was...
Were you happy that you didn't do it? Or no regrets?
I mean, anybody can select, because over the years I've got to know people who have their kids' names on their arms, and, you know, they're more interested in what they got going on than their actual kids. Some of these people don't even see their kids.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend, his daughter, and her baby daddy, or whatever you want to call him. You know,
baby daddy, sorry.
You know, they're in their 30s, like my brother's in his 30s. Like, you're in your 30s, and, you know, that whole 30's the new 20, 40's the new 30, like this thing that everybody says. Well, the 170's the new 150. Well, eventually you still have to kind of own up to your own thing. So when it comes to responsibilities, like, for instance, getting older and having kids, if you want those kids at all to have any kind of chance, then you should, you know, make your attempts at being responsible yourself. And that's, when I had my son, a lot of people were concerned that I wasn't going to be the mature person that I am. And I've always said to my son, because he can tend to be immature from time. He's 11. I say, you know what? You got to know when it's fine. You got to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. You don't act like a goofball at a funeral or something that's serious. And you don't have to be serious all the time. I've said to him, like, you see me cracking jokes, you see me in the kitchen making dinner, dancing, like, you're only as old as how you behave and how you feel, and how you take care of how you're feeling and how you look. You know what I mean? I know if I let my hair grow all the way down to my ass, it would look all disheveled and gray, and I'd look like,
It's funny because you do see a lot of older men who suddenly decide, I'm going to just grow my hair. Like they're rebelling, like they did as teens. Because I know, but you must have seen older men that are starting to grow their hair long because they're just, that's like, I want to feel young, I want to rebel against the system. It's like you almost resort to being a teenager again. It is almost like I don't know for sure, I'm not that old, but you almost kind of revert back to your childhood when you get older, but...
Well, in some ways you really do.
Some do.
Like the elderly, like you start going to the bathroom in your pants and taking naps and all the things.
I take naps.
No, I take naps too. I'm a very big nap aficionado, but
I fall asleep at the drop of a hat. I said I'd never be that person, and there I am watching a show with Mike... and then I try to deny it. That even makes it worse, but I do. I wasn't sleeping.
I always say I could fall asleep by the time I've fallen from a tree before I hit the ground.
Now, you mentioned, we were talking earlier, before the show, you said that you didn't even know if you'd be alive when you were 40, because you were just such a wild...
When I was younger, my best friend and I used to do a lot of crazy stuff. Like, we would run and dive. We didn't even know what was on the other side of the bushes. We would run and dive headfirst over the bushes.
Yeah.
And there'd be concrete or grass or whatever. I used to run, and this was a thing I used to do up till maybe it was my late teens. I would run and jump up towards a telephone pole, jump up and wrap both my arms and legs around it, and,
I remember
and freeze.
Kids in my neighborhood doing that.
Or doing that stop sign thing where I'd be at a 90-degree angle on a stop sign. And, like just lots of, just bad choices over the years. And luckily I was... For one, not in the YouTube generation where everybody's got a camera. And, hey, look at here's Gary being an asshole to the universe again.
I don't think when sometimes I watch those kids that do stupid things and they film it on YouTube, and I think, yeah, we probably did stupid things like that, but it probably didn't feel stupid. But now when we watch it, I still don't think stuff we did was as stupid.
See, normally I wouldn't be anywhere where I'd actively film myself doing something, unless we were trying to put on like a skit or something. But I'm talking more like, for instance, one weekend I was at Shirkston with all my buddies, and I'm in my 20s, early 20s, and we're drinking a lot, and it's a hot summer day, and I think Austin Powers had the very first one come out, Do I Make You Horny? So at one point, I started going, hey, can I ask you a question? What? Do I make you horny? And I dropped my pants, bare ass. So people started smacking me on my ass. By the end of the day, they were calling me naked guy, and I had big red welts all over my ass from people smacking my ass. Now imagine that on a video. So, hey, look at this guy. What a clown.
Why didn't I know you then? That's all I have to say. You'd have my handprints on there.
Yeah.
I like that you admit to it. Yeah.
You can put one on there before I leave.
Hide that. This has been recorded. I've been given permission, so...
Post that picture. This is Devlin's handprint. Guess what the canvas is.
See, I'm now, flustered. I don't know what I was going to go with. No, now that you're in your 40s, is it everything you dreamed it would be?
Well, I mean...
Since we said we were probably never going to make it, and I'm the same way. I didn't think I'd make it out of my 30s with some of the depressions I went through.
Yeah.
And, but here I am. I'm glad I'm here, don't get me wrong.
It's awesome.
It's a weird feeling, because I thought there'd be a feeling. But I sometimes wake up feeling like I'm 19.
Yeah.
Sometimes 90, depending on those aches and pains.
I think we endure whatever we got to endure. Those first 3 decades of our lives are whatever they're going to be. Whether it's the card you're dealt or the outside influences dealt to you, or your own personal thing. But when you start hitting your mid to late 30s, and I can't speak for everybody. I mean, you're with Mike. So relationships sometimes can affect that, I think. So, you might, I see a lot of attractive older women or attractive older men or whatever, and they're in their late 30s, mid 30s, maybe, early 40s, and they're not settled down, whether they never found the right one or it didn't work out, or they're separated. So I don't know if that helps the ship stay in the right, we were talking about before, like going off and doing crazy stuff. Well, sometimes when you've got some good gravity kind of keeping you in where your comfort zone is, to the point where you can reach out of your comfort zone at your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To me, so I like the fact that we endured what we did, and we look back at it, we can go, thank God it's not documented, and all that.
But we also learn from it.
Yeah.
We learn from it.
And now we're at almost at that point where we're at the, just like when I did my victory lap in high school, I'm at that I know now what I should have known then thing. Yeah. So now, if the next 10, 15 years are kind to me, I will have a really good ride. If I spend, the next 5 to 10 years living hand to mouth, it's not going to be as fun. But it is what it is, right? If my band starts pulling gigs, and I start, if I play a super crawl or even just one of the art crawl gigs, it's any little things that, like, for instance, like I said, getting my songs played, or being on that TV show, I guest spot on the TV show a long time ago.
Yeah, what was the name of that?
Out There with Melissa DeMarco.
Yeah, I saw they were running repeats one time, but I never got to see you. I think I would have lost it. Like, hey, I know that guy!
I've actually had a few people go, did you date Melissa DeMarco? I'm like, no, I've actually been married for this many years, and no, that was just a show. But she's a beautiful woman, and I would date her gladly. She's, it was nice to I got a DVD copy of it and to put it in and to see that. And
I'd love to see that.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, you never actually seen the episode?
No.
I'll bring it alone to you sometime. But it's funny because when I went in for we were talking about improv earlier. When I went in for the audition, improv was all I did, and it was so easy. Like, she's like, okay, well, let's try something here, and she goes, I hear you're into music, and so they gave me a little guitar to play, and by maybe 15 minutes in, she was laughing so hard, and the cameraman actually started laughing that they had to stop. And they're like, okay, I think we got a show idea with this. So we wound up flushing it out that I was this.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then a few years ago, I got a message from one of the producers asking if I wanted to be back on the show again. And then I never heard from them again. I tried responding, but I don't think I did it right or something. I'm like, oh, man, that would have been great to go back on.
Yeah, it would have been.
And he said something about the Toronto International Film Festival, like being like a guest in it and stuff like that. I was like, man, anything that got me in the door, even if I was giving out bottles of water. Here you go, Brad Pitt.
I know.
Here you go, Kate Blanchett.
Now, one thing, when we're young, we also not only have that wild side, but we always have that, geez, I wonder what our lives are going to be like. Now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know. Like, how do you feel on that? Like, I think it's, when I look back at everything, all my struggles and stuff, like, I don't want to sound like a motivational speaker but I can't believe the stuff I've endured, and I've had my good, my bad, but when I look at my life right now, I'm very happy in it. Awesome. And there's stuff that I thought I'd have to give up that I didn't, and I just thought, well, I'm going to be a mature adult. I won't be able to do that. I won't be able to hang out and talk goofy with my friends. But I love that, like, when you and I hang out, we have a good laugh, and sometimes we didn't know each other as teens, but I feel like we did in some way.
Pretty much, yeah. It seems.
It's like we went to Canadiana High, and everybody just who was in that time era.
Yep.
Gets it. We get the show references, the music references.
Yep, absolutely.
But when you look at your life now, are you surprised that this is where you got to? Like you said, you didn't even know if you'd be married or have a kid. Now you have like a 11-year-old son.
Yeah. Well, that's far beyond anything else. That is my greatest accomplishment. Is my son. I mean, he means the world to me, and Laura and I have been very like-minded for the most part, of making sure that he's, loving, respectful, good kid. And, I mean, I used to have little ladies when I used to take my son out to do stuff all the time. The little ladies would be like, oh, it's nice to see a man with his son. Nowadays, that's all I mean, not that that's all you see, but you see a lot of dads doing that now.
Yeah. Now it's
it's the new generation of fatherhood.
Yeah,
is like
because we come from the old generation of where fathers would and do I have to?
and there's two kinds of response to that. There's guys or people who endure that and then repeat the cycle, or worse, or don't even bother having kids because it was such a bad ordeal, or people, go on and have like we were talking about before. You find yourself happy and you thought you would be able to have to give up compromise. I think the fact that you haven't had to compromise is what feeds your happiness. Is the fact that you've got to be where you want to be. You don't have to give up.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I love with my son is, I can almost be a kid again, and it almost gives me an excuse. Like, let's go bike riding, let's play hockey, these are things I loved doing all the time as a kid, and it's like now, an excuse. That's awesome. It's almost kind of selfish of me, because it's like, I like it almost more than he does sometimes. Like, it'd be a beautiful day, and I'm like, come on, buddy, turn off the computer, we're going out, we're gonna go play and go do this and go that, and he's like, it's too hot out, and I'm like, okay, we're going to the neighbors for a swim then. Don't start. Never mind.
Bring the pole to me.
So, yeah.
Well, it's funny because I know a lot of fathers now that are, people I know, friends of mine that have become fathers now, and some of them I was like, wow, I can't believe that guy's a father, and just impressed by how they step up in that. And then I know I like to have talks with them, and they always bring up, my father never really did anything with me, so I didn't want that for my kids and stuff. And I always remind them, I think it's great what you're doing, but keep in mind, we didn't become assholes. We're still good people.
Yes.
And we had to fight for it more. Because we could have gone down a road where we just didn't care, but we fought for it. So when people say, well, I just don't want that. I get that, but I always remind them that, you know what, we wound up still turning out okay. Now, in every generation you're going to get I know people my age that are absolutely fucked up still, and that's fine. I still like hanging out with them too.
There's visual...
And I'm pretty fucked up at times.
There's visual memories of my childhood I wish I could erase. Certain movies on TV that I shouldn't have seen, or snuck me into the drive-in. The memories? Oh yeah. There's a movie I've asked many people about this movie, and if anybody can message you if they do know the name of it. I don't know if it was a made-for-TV movie, but I remember they're either sisters or cousins, and the one girl I think was either pregnant or something, but they ran out into the rain, into an alleyway, and the one girl had a white nightie on, and the other girl stabbed her in the stomach, killed her, and then at the very end of that segment, she runs the knife blade down her cheek like a cut. And then all I remember after that is the next scene, she's in the back of a car with a scar on her face or whatever. And I don't remember the dialogue or the exchange of why, so I don't know if it was a jealousy thing.
The fact that you remember all this shows that it really affected you.
That, it really did. Trilogy of Terror affected me a lot.
You know what? That affected everyone. Wow. I think every kid watched that. They always remember the doll part the most.
But just to paint the picture for me here, I wasn't watching it. I was sleeping soundly in my bed like a cute little kid.
I wasn't watching it.
Woke up in the middle of the night to go pee, stopped in the kitchen, and the TV is staring right at me as I'm and that is what I saw. And I'm like, like it scared the shit out of me.
I'm going to freak you out even more. Everybody my age or in that era who did not watch it. We were in bed. But somehow we woke up, I think, at the same time.
It must have been the screams or the noise it made, because it was such a creepy...
I was a really wimpy kid, and I didn't get into horror movies till later in life. And I would not have sat there through that. So I'm wondering if I had fell asleep on the couch and my dad was watching it, or... Again with the screams, because that would have freaked me out. It was
creepy as balls.
But I talk to people, and they always remember that segment.
Oh, yeah.
And I always think, did we all wake up at the same time and just see that, so it disturbed us enough?
I think so.
Anyhow...
just flew through again.
We're almost done. I'm gonna actually talk to Mike about that, see if he remembers it, because sometimes he remembers those old things
Trilogy
too.
No,
the Girls in the Rain. I'm a movie buff, and that stumps me, but...
I don't know.
It could be anything.
Like, I don't know if it's like a Flowers in the Attic or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but it had to be easily late 70s.
Yeah. I'll leave our growing up gracefully with a segment that not a segment, but a line that really affected me. It was Betty White's character on Hot in Cleveland, which isn't a great show, but apparently it gave me advice. Yeah, it's got some moments. And the other three girls were talking about how awful it's going to be when they become seniors and all the troubles and everything. And Betty White's character just says, you know, it isn't, because the world sees you as an old person, but you feel exactly how you did when you were young. You don't wake up, like, you might have aches and pains, but inside your body, you still feel like you're this young thing, yet people are looking at you old. So it's not a feeling of suddenly I'm a senior citizen. It's
start to get underestimated.
Yeah, you just get upset because the world sees you, you know. I worry about 56. I worry about 56, not 50. You know why? Because I read somewhere that they say, even though men become distinguished, you know, when they say men get distinguished, I've heard that at 56 you start becoming invisible to the world as far as your sexuality goes, and suddenly you're just an old guy. I hope to defeat that, but
I would do a little search of ages of certain actors, but I'm sure there's a few of them out there that are in their late 50s that are quite sexy.
Yeah, I've met seniors. I do. I'll be honest. I'm an equal opportunity person. It's not just young, pretty, guys out there. It's,
you all get a chance. So
I've seen some seniors with the old pulling off the scruffy, gray chest hair, and I'm like, hello. Are you hiding your chest hair from me?
I had somebody tell me to dye my hair, and I said, I'm just going to go Alan Alda.
I like it.
I'm just going to let it do its thing.
I like it.
Otherwise, I'm just going to keep dyeing it.
You're almost like gunmetal gray, which is a nice gray color. Okay, so we're gonna have some fun. No more depressing talk about growing old. Although we might feel old when I ask you these questions. I'm gonna do a little new segment I've never tried, and Gary is the music man to try it with. So while I go slap Gary's ass because he gave me permission. You take this break, and we'll be back.
Let's get my belt off.
Slap. I am back, and I'm here with the handsome and talented,
stinging,
rubbing his ass, Gary Reid. Bet you never had that in an intro ever.
Rubbing my ass? That's
you never
usually
know.
Synonymous with my intro.
So anyhow...
Give it up for rubbing his ass, Gary!
That's going to be your thing now. You got to have a thing now. You got to have a gimmick now in this gimmicky
I wish my thing was whenever people walk up to me, they gave me $100. That would be a really good thing.
That would be a good thing. Unlikely, but...
Instead of a high five, here's $100. Awesome, thanks!
I'd settle for $5.
Well, if enough
I know a lot of people.
It just means I have to run into less people if it's 100. Sorry.
So I'm going to try a new segment here with you, and I've always wanted to do this with someone, and then I finally said, you know what? I need someone who's really musical, and you are that person.
I love music.
So I thought you were going to be my virgin in this, and I read a magazine called Entertainment Weekly, and they do a segment called Soundtrack of My Life.
Okay.
And I'm basically going to ask you questions that are pretty much all going to be answered with music, albums, artists, and they're basically going to tell us a little bit about Gary Reid.
Awesome.
Now, I'm looking forward to doing this. I think I got some good ones here, and I'm blatantly going to steal. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to call it Soundtrack of My Life.
All right.
If Entertainment Weekly wants to sue me, that's okay.
Means they're listening.
Yes, so here we go. Let's see how many we can do of these, and you can talk a little bit about it, too.
The irony of that you lifted your glasses to read that is...
That's because I can't see far away. See, if I can see you, but I like to wear the glasses when I'm looking at you because I get to see every detail, every muscle. Okay, sorry, we're getting off topic here. Okay, I don't want a segment where I'm just describing what I love about your body. Next time you're in. Okay, so the first album or single that you bought with your own money. And you don't have to have the right answer, just something that is close to being right. We might have actually even mentioned this on the last time.
I want to say Black Sabbath, Paranoid, and Motley Crue Shout at the Devil. When
That's popping into your head?
yeah, I think it was grade 7 or grade 8.
Nice.
Around there, yeah.
And that was like did anybody else listen to that kind of music?
Oh,
in your
yeah.
family?
I mean, no, not in the family. My dad was a rocker, Beatles, Pink
So
Floyd,
classic
Genesis.
rock,
Yeah, my
okay.
mother was more Roy Orbison, Elvis, and the oldies stuff.
Yeah.
But she also liked a lot of that. Like, I heard music all my life growing up. But I remember listening to people's 45s that they donated to me when I was a kid, like, Edward Bear and Paul McCartney and Wings
Sweet.
and all this other stuff. But the actual first purchase, I'm pretty sure
We'll go with
Black Sabbath, Paranoid, and there was both albums at the same time. I bought both of them the same day.
Okay, what song do you maybe flick around the radio and instantly takes you back to the teen years, your teen years?
Ooh.
I know there's tons,
That's
but is there one that just, literally you smell it, you feel it?
Oh, that's a long time ago. My teen years. Maybe Jump. By 1984, I was 14.
So Van Halen we're going with? Well,
Yeah.
Pointer Sisters came out that same year, so...
Yeah, no. But I mean, I just think that's probably, if I hear that, that's the one I can associate with teen years.
Okay.
Nothing else is resounding as
Okay. Well, we know you listen to a lot of music then.
yeah.
Okay, what's a song that you have to rock out to when you hear it?
Oh man, there's so many.
What are your all-time favorites? Pick one or two.
Oh God, I
You just
don't even know where to
lose your
start.
fucking mind.
There's
What was the last one you rocked out to that you can remember?
I lost my shit last summer at the Trues concert at the Gage Park. My son and he was embarrassed for me. I'm like, buddy, come on, right, yeah. So pretty much everything by the Trues, but no,
What did you do that drove your son
singing and waving my hands in the air, and we were actually sitting, but we were sitting in a lawn chair things, and because it was pretty crowded around us. But yeah, it was I just rocking out to it. I remember him. He saw Crash Karma. That's the band. It was Edwin from I Mother Earth and a bunch of other bands.
Okay.
And the one song come on from the radio that they had at the time, and as soon as he heard it, he started doing air guitar and rocking out to it.
Nice.
My son, there's actually a video of him somewhere where it's a true song called "Hold Me," and he's literally headbanging. He's got his hands on the couch and he's rocking like this, shaking his
Nice.
head. Yeah.
Excellent.
But I was gonna say something like "March of the Pigs" by Nine Inch Nails, or "Jesus Built My Hot Rod" by Ministry, or pretty much anything fast by Jane's Addiction.
So you rock out a lot.
Oh yeah, anything heavy and fast, I'm into it.
What song reminds you of your first love?
Oh. Well, I mean, Endless Love reminds me of love, but my first real love?
I think we had a long Endless Love discussion last time. 'Cause that's definitely one of mine.
Well, yeah, no, my first real love, we almost got married. I would probably say it was the song from Dirty Dancing, Love. Hey,
Love is Strange?
Sylvia, yeah, that's
Love
the
is
one.
Strange.
Sylvia,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
man.
that
we used
one,
to
yeah.
we'd be kissing and we used to say that to each other. Yeah. It's cute.
How do you call your lover boy? I'm sorry, I was trying to... I know the
here,
song,
lover
it's in
boy.
my rotation.
And if
but
she
I couldn't
doesn't,
think of-
love a boy.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, a song that you wish you wrote.
Ooh.
We know you write your own, but if you could say, Gary Reid wrote this song, which one would it be?
One that would have made me rich beyond my wildest dreams. There's a lot of them.
Go by a song that, just lyrically, that you said, fuck, I wish I put my pen to paper on that one.
Oh, man.
I know there's a lot, but...
You know what? There's a lot of them, but I would probably say I really love the song Summertime Rolls by Jane's Addiction.
Okay.
And it's not because the words are probably a little strange, unless there's imagery behind them, stuff like I fell into a sea of grass and drifted among the shady blades, But it's the harmonies, the vibe of the song. I was listening to it a lot around the summertime, and it's a really cool tune. Summertime Rolls is the name of the song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully people are playing this at home. I'm hoping things are popping in their head, too. Okay, a song that reminds you of your mom and dad. It can be separate ones.
Ooh.
Do your mom first.
There's a sad one. Not sad, but I mean, I have to, when the song comes on, I have to, leave the room because last time I heard it, I started blubbering. Power of Love by Celine Dion's version.
Okay.
My mom and dad, on their 25th anniversary, my father shaved his mustache for the first time I'd ever seen.
Wow.
And they threw at my aunt's, they threw a little party for him on the 25th anniversary, and they were slow dancing to that song.
Wow.
And just talking about it's making me...
I know you're choking up.
So that
Sorry,
makes me
I'm
think of
usually the one that chokes up on this show.
Okay, no, it gets better though. That's what I think of when I think of my parents. When I think of my dad, I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus sitting on the dashboard of my car. That one. Dad, can you stop that? My mom goes, you know he's going to say it louder now. I don't care. Oh, Jesus. So that's the one I think of for my father.
That's awesome.
And for my mother, I actually got a little taste of it, and everybody was being pissy, but my mother was awesome. Christmas, we went over for Christmas Eve, and Elvis's Christmas song, it's Christmas time, pretty baby.
Oh, yeah.
Santa Claus is coming down. And my mom's like,
she's doing
she used to do like this, like pretend burlesque stripper dance, like she just, it was adorable. And when she did it at Christmas, it was just like, it took me right back to my childhood.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm still beaming about
Excellent. Sorry to make you choke up, though.
Oh,
it's usually my job around
that's my
here,
heart.
but you might be the first person I choked up here. There you go. Yeah,
And
take a
slapped.
drink. And slapped. Okay. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Ooh. It used to be Brother Loves Travelin' Show by Neil Young.
I remember you hearing that.
Neil Diamond, sorry.
Neil Young.
August night and the leaves going down the grass on the grass.
Is that Neil Young singing that?
Yeah.
You know how many people probably like, Neil Young sang that? Oh, fuck, he knows nothing about music. Yeah.
Anything by Neil Diamond's really easy and fun to sing because I kind of have a lower voice.
That's what Neil Diamond says.
Yeah. Nowadays, I like to go with something that's not played that often. Like, I'll go with, like, maybe Home for Rest by Spirit of the West, or I usually do some Tragically Hip because I can sing them well. But I tried not too long ago was The Same As It Ever Was.
Oh,
Once in a Lifetime. Yeah,
Nice.
by Talking Heads. So
If you're ever in a room with drunken, like, soccer moms and stuff like that, Copacabana by Barry Manilow,
yeah.
it's like catnip. You know, yeah. It doesn't matter what age group, there's something about that song that, woo!
Somebody will be tangling with you.
Yeah, but they gotta have a couple of pictures of margaritas after that. But I did it once, and it was just like, what is going on? I haven't this had effect on women and ever.
You've actually made me want to try a couple songs. Kissed a Girl and High School Confidential are two I want to try because of you.
I love that.
No, because I heard you sing.
Yeah, I know.
You did it really good.
I'm
like,
laughing because, you know, Leslie Maddich.
Yeah.
She hates when I say the term cream my jeans.
Oh, yeah.
And she always hated it. And I remember when I sang the song, I sang cream my jeans. I look out in the audience and Leslie's like, it's nasty. Like she's mouthing the words, it's nasty. I love it. I want it to come back.
What,
and do you remember the CKOC version?
Yeah.
With the blade? Do it with her. Who's that there? Is he with her?
Yeah.
So many people from our generation know that.
I remember watching her sing it in some video show or live, or she was singing it, and she goes, makes me my jeans. Like she went like that. She clenched her fist and doesn't say it. And then
Sweet.
It was
classy.
It was kind of gross, though. Just the term.
I know.
Cream my jeans. Like, I love cream, and I love the, what's coming, where it's coming from, but that just, and I don't mind jeans. But I just those three words.
You're having a
three words. Sorry.
No, that's
okay. Sorry.
Cream my jeans. That's what I think of when I see you. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that out loud. Was that my... Okay, let's move on. A song that people would be surprised would be in your, like, record collection, or could be an album, an artist.
Somebody who doesn't know me that well?
Yeah, or, because you said you're kind of a rock guy.
Yeah, well, so. I mean, I have Chuck Mangione, Bread, Ravi Shankar, Mike Oldfield. I have such a wide variety of music. I think something would surprise people would be like ABBA. Somebody may not think I'm into ABBA. I love ABBA. So
yeah.
We've had many a conversation about that. So.
Of ABBA, yes. ABBA. I don't know what that was. A song that reminds you of your son.
Oh, God. Not Cats in the Cradle.
Well, thank God.
But because of that song, Cats in the Cradle, which destroys me, it made me that much more of a father to my son. But a song that reminds me of him, there's...
Like you hear it, and suddenly he pops in your head.
I Love You by... is it I Love You by... No, Silly Love Songs by Wings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I made a mix CD for him before he was born. Made a couple of them before he was born. And that was one of them that we would drive and listen to. And I remember looking in the mirror at him, and he was singing, I love you. And it was just, it was adorable. Yeah. Yeah, he was a cute little kid, so it was
very cool.
Wonderful.
You tearing up on me again?
Nope.
Let's move on.
Silly Little Love Song.
Okay, you can tear up for this one. Is there a song that makes you cry?
Cats in the Cradle.
Yeah.
Straight up. There's a song called Blurry by Puddle of Mud that actually gets me pretty hard.
Really?
And I didn't even really know until I paid attention to the words. This girl who had custody battles over her child years ago mentioned it to me, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that's what it was about. And that's the song is everything is blurry, everything is fake, and like it's all about make up your own ending. Let me know how it. It's all about there's miles between us, and again, I'm getting choked up just talking about it. It's like. It's one of those songs, right? Yeah. And, of course, Power of Love. Celine Dion. Any of those versions. A lot of the Air Supply used to kill me, but that was because I used to break up with a girl and put it on.
They don't get enough love.
Here I am.
I like their stuff. I love writing on Facebook all the time.
That would be another one. I may not have it, but I would have it if I did. It wouldn't be, no problem.
Yeah. I'm going to go off topic here. Have you ever had a song that... Because I tell people this, and some people get it, other people don't. There's certain songs that I'll hear a note in the song that triggers my tear ducts of... It's just so much joy that I don't know if you have one of those. Because I have many, and it blows me away, and when I first hear it a couple times, I actually start crying. It doesn't happen all the time, but... I'm embarrassed by some of the ones that have hit me, and I swear it's the note.
You know what? The one, and it used to be synonymous with joy. Oh, stuff. Julie Cruz, Falling?
Oh, I love Julie Cruz. Well, with Twin Peaky stuff.
Well, I didn't never associate it with that. I had it on a mixed CD of Women in Song or something. Yeah. And when I first started dating Laura, we would, lay there and whatever, and hold each other, and stuff like that.
Okay, we're moving on. I'll tell an embarrassing story.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and then I would think of my boy. So there is a lot of joy, but that would be the one that when as soon as I hear that note, it gets.
If you ever, I know you might not be a Twin Peaks fan, but one of the most amazing things is Angelo Badalamenti, who wrote that song.
Very familiar with it.
Talks about how David Lynch would describe what he wanted for the Twin Peaks soundtrack. And he plays elements of Falling. And it's almost erotic how they got on the same note. Yeah. And he, if you ever get a chance to see it, I'll show it to you one day. It might even be on YouTube. It's phenomenal.
Well, I'm eventually going to give that show a try.
But even just the way David Lynch is, okay, she's sad now, and now she's breaking down, and now she's just overwhelmed with joy, and then when you hear the phases of the song, mind-blowing. An embarrassing song so you don't choke up anymore. Do you remember that song J-Ho, which was like a Bollywood song that was an Oscar winner from Slumdog Millionaire? It was like, J-Ho...
And they dance at the end?
The Pussycat Dolls, and it was a big hit.
I just remember the really cool dance.
They had a Bollywood hit with it. When that guy came in, because they'd always have the Bollywood singer come in after the Pussycat Dolls, singing J-Ho, he hit a note that I'd be on a bus with this on my thing, and I'd just have tears of joy, because he hit, I don't know what it was, but he hit a tone, and for the first, 2 months that song came out, I'd literally clear it.
Really?
Tear up. Also the theme from The Littlest Hobo, but that's
I remember you telling me that. But when you listen, it's like, ah.
Okay, we got a couple more. We're going to try to squeeze them in. If we go over, it's my show. I'm allowed. A song you once hated, but now, as you've grown up, you kind of have more respect for it. It could be an artist, album, song.
Oh.
Because I have a couple that I have more respect for now that I'm old.
That I hated when I was younger?
Yeah.
And now?
Or you just didn't like it, or you didn't think about it, and then now you look back at it and go, you know what? It's not that terrible. That's an interesting. You're going to have to think about that.
Yeah, well, no, because I've had a lot of songs over the years that I'm like, oh, I can't stand that song. You know what? Jukebox Hero.
By Foreigner?
Couldn't stand it when I was younger.
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking stand that song.
And now,
Standing in the rain. But then and now that I've heard the words and I've heard it played live by a couple of bands, I'm like, this is actually a really good song.
Nice.
So yeah, that'd be the one. Jukebox
there you go.
Hero.
Gary's Redemption song, Foreigner. Okay, your favorite soundtrack album?
Soundtrack album?
Soundtrack.
Ooh. There's so many.
Name a couple.
Well, I do love Grease. That we were talking about that. Damn.
I know, there's some great soundtracks.
Yeah, you know what? I do like, the Pulp Fiction soundtrack is okay. It's got some splashes of stuff that I'm not that familiar with, and then it's got good clips in it. But it's not probably the Forrest Gump soundtrack, just because it's got a lot of great songs.
Yeah, and it goes through the decades, which is quite nice, too. Yeah, that's a good choice.
I mean, everything from Elvis to CCR to...
Yeah, and they go right up to, like, I think, like, On the Road Again, like,
something like that. Luckily, they left out Ace of Base.
And finally, I don't want to end on a bad note, but what song do you hope they play at your funeral?
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Comfortably Numb.
Comfortably Numb?
Floyd.
Nice.
I
like that you thought about it, and then you were like, no, that's
because
it.
I used to...
that was me slap my hands. I wasn't slapping his ass.
Not this time. You know, it always used to be kind of... I used to always say, you know, I want them to play Comfortably Numb at my funeral. I used to say that all the time, and then, you know, as I've gotten older, there's a lot of other songs that have touched me, and I could just as easily say, you know, like Thank You by Led Zeppelin or stuff like that. But Comfortably Numb is just something I grew up listening to and really, really had some powerful connections with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we've come to the end, and
or Within You Without You by the Beatles. That's the other one.
Oh, that's a good song.
Life Goes On Within You and Without You.
Well, that's good stuff.
Sorry. Okay.
No problem.
Just interrupted your outro.
It's kind of a fun thing to do. You could even just do this with friends. Like I find it fascinating because I love hearing, you know, what people's musical tastes. We have come to the end of the road, believe it or not.
Flies by.
Yeah, I hope you come back. And if you definitely record, come in and we will put it on. I'd love to have you play, but because we don't have a big studio, you wouldn't sound very good, so that's why I don't bring people in to play. But you know I'd love... If you ever want to come just play for me, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do Endless Love with you.
Yeah, we'll try that someday.
Yeah. Two guys, we'll make it big again.
You'll have to do the Diana part. I couldn't hit that note if I tried.
I will give it my best. And there's that anal sex part in that song. Bum, 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 ba-da-bum. Okay, I'm thinking of your ass again. Okay, so we're going to leave it on that. Gary, thank you for coming in again, and we will have you back.
It was an honor.
All right.
Thank you, buddy.
And I will I'll talk to all of you. I can't talk right now, but I will talk to all of you again next time.